Good morning, everyone. We have got a Monday morning exciting surprise for you. We have Miss Karen Abercrombie with us. She is, so talented. She's a storyteller, she's a producer, she's an actress, not just behind the scenes, but she's been off Broadway. She works with kids. She's got a thing about artists, and she's got her own film company. We're going to talk about all of these things today because she is living her life on purpose. Welcome, Karen. We're so glad to have you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Beth. I'm grateful to be here with you all.
Well, and it's just been so fun to watch you. We do have to talk about the breakout role. I mean, it's not the breakout role for you, but it was certainly one most people will remember as Miss Clara in War Room, the one that brought us all to our knees to want to learn to pray like that.
What a blessing. I'm still honestly blown away at God's grace. And as I mentioned to you, it was just extravagant grace that He poured on me, allowing me to be a part of that project. And it changed my life on so many levels, certainly for the better. And I will always be grateful for that.
I'm curious as to how that role affected your prayer life. I mean, it was so much about prayer and warring. And in today's world, people, we look around and we're like, what do we do? I mean, how do we help? I mean, everybody wants to do something, but people don't know what to do. But that role of prayer, how did that affect you? You were already a Christian, but how did that deepen your
Oh,
awareness of
oh, dear Beth. Girl, beforehand, I thought that I was the prayer person, that I was going deep in my prayer life. But after I took on the role and saw what was necessary, um, I could only do it with God. So I said, God, just help me to be out of your way. Help me be in your will, because this is far beyond anything that I had ever imagined. And so my prayer was that all the time, all the time, all the time. And then I realized, oh my gosh, all the times I thought that I had really been praying and going deep, I was only scratching the surface,
wow.
you know? And I began to hear him and see him in ways that I had never heard or seen him before, because I had not made myself completely available. And it's still a walk,
Right.
something I'm still working on, just yielding continuously, daily, moment to moment, through the hills and the valleys, yielding. But I was like, oh my gosh, wow, the depth, the thickness, the width, the height of what he's made available to us. Oh my gosh. So I'm on this journey continuously to go deeper, higher, wider.
And what do you think that looks like to the everyday person? Because a lot of people are really not, not experiencing peace because the world is not experiencing peace. I mean, and if you want to tell someone how to have a deeper prayer life, and you said you thought you had one,
Oh yeah.
what were the things that you began to do differently as a result of learning how?
That word, we get the word, we take the word in, and we can recite that word, we can throw it out there to this and that, but until you are walking and stepping and standing on and in that word, really, do you come to understand it's not the book knowledge.
Yeah.
It's that saturation, that penetration of that. You said you do this, Lord. This is your word.
Mhm.
And you leash it to be all that it is, and be open to deal with the power that is available.
Yeah.
And then you start to see things move.
Yeah. That's so powerful. You know, my mom tells me, she says, you know, it's okay to remind him what his word says. You know, when you're praying, you're like, you know, Lord, you said you would direct my path. So I know you're going to direct my path, and beginning to speak in authority instead of the, you know, please, Lord, direct my paths. And then you go to, okay, Lord, you said you will. So I'm going to go out and walk today. And I'm going to know every step I take is directed by you. It's a whole different way of thinking. And it's
It
so
really is. And no matter what things look like in the physical, in the flesh, that spiritual stuff, woo!
yeah. Sometimes I thank God for the things I don't see, you know, more than anything else. I'm like, Lord, I just thank you for all I didn't see today, because I know
Ooh, yes.
you protected me from it, you know?
If I think that if he allowed us even a glimpse, we just pass out, lose our minds or
Yeah.
whatever. I mean, because he's constantly 24 hours
Yeah.
protecting us, girding, guarding us,
Yes.
you know.
So true. So true. Well, as much as we love what you did as Miss Clara, and what a great acting job that was, you have done so many other things. You have since started your own production company,
Yes.
and you have you developed two films. Discarded Things is one of them, and I have a feeling that that topic of discarded people and reaching out to people that have been discarded or felt discarded is a passion and a purpose for you. Tell me about that.
Yes, yes. How many people are out on the fringe and they're looking in, and so many times we're behind this wall and they look at Christians and they think everything is fine. It isn't.
No.
It never is always fine. We're here on this earth. We've got trials and tribulations. We've got decisions that we must make. But the people are sitting outside and they're watching us. And they're feeling so separated from what they see, not knowing, you know, that we too, we have these wars that we're constantly fighting. And I just wanted whoever saw it to understand that this character who had been raised in a home, whose father was a pastor, had some stuff happen to her, and a whole lot that she had to deal with, and she felt discarded. I believe that we all at some point have felt discarded, just tossed out by a husband or a family member or a friend or a child or whatever. Everybody has felt discarded. And so wrapping this story around these children who are aging out of foster care, I think that each child that we cast, the written roles, somebody can see themselves, if they're honest,
Yeah.
having that struggle or having had that struggle, you know. So I wanted to open that up, as well as just to people on the outside thinking that they're so far away out there, that they're not. God loves us all, and there is hope. Yeah, it's a story of hope. It's a story of healing. It's a story of forgiveness, you know. Yeah.
Well, and the topic of that, you're the star of the movie, plus you're also on both sides of it. But let's talk about that topic, because in our world today, coming out of the pandemic, social media, the presence of social media,
Oh my.
many people feel alone, isolated, overlooked, discarded. But there's a call for us as Christians to be the light of the world, to bring
Yes.
salt to the earth. So we're supposed to go out and be ready,
Yes.
armed, alert. But we're just as guilty as everyone else if we're not paying attention
Yes, Beth.
what's out there. And you know, I see people hiding behind phones. I see people hiding behind, you know, pads. And that is, I get it. I mean, I have to live on mine as well too, but we've got to be alert to those people. How do we do a better job of that as Christians, and especially people in the church?
Absolutely. And my choosing to spread the word, I guess mine is a little more, I remember going to one of the people who had produced the movie that I was in, and they had said that this was too edgy for them. But I'm like, life, daily life, it's edgy. We're always walking the
Like a cliff kind of edgy.
okay, on the cliff every day.
Yes.
You don't know. I may have just walked off the cliff
Yeah.
before I came in to speak with you.
Yeah.
So if we just bringing the reality to it.
Yeah.
I will continue to tell stories about his grace, his healing, but from this perspective for the people out on the fringe. And
Right.
quietly enough, there are a lot of people on the pews
Yes.
who are just going through the motions, afraid to tell what they're really going through. But and they're feeling discarded. They're feeling like they're out on the fringe, even though they're singing in the choir.
Yeah.
Some may be in ministry,
Mm-hmm.
other forms of ministry, but we got to be real. We got
do.
to be real.
Yeah.
We're here to save, to spread light, seek and save the lost,
Yeah.
and reach out for a lifeline when we are, being tossed in the wind or storm.
Yes.
We
Yeah.
have to quit trying to make it like we're perfect, because we're not. If we've got 2 feet on the ground, we're not. God is the only perfect one.
Oh. And I like to say that, as living your life on purpose, the way to change the world is one story at a time. But
Yes,
we have to give people an opportunity to be honest about their short story and then share their story. So, testimonies are a powerful way to reach people. And, you've seen that. You're a storyteller. You go out, you speak, you're a great speaker.
Thank you.
So what do you find when you share your real story in front of an audience? What do people come up to you after that and say, like, about you being so real?
You saved my life today.
See?
I thought I was the only one. I have held on to this secret for so long. I feel like I've been set free. The noose from around my neck, heart, soul, spirit is just broken, because now I feel bold enough to stand in my truth.
Yeah.
And to tell the devil, I'm not going to hide behind this anymore. He no longer has power over me. And Beth, there was a time in my life when I wouldn't talk about the past, not my party girl past, but even my parents, drug addicts, alcoholism, and all of that. I just hold that down. But when I chose to tell it, to share it, girl, it was I no longer carry that burden. We ask God to lift our burdens, but we continue to hold on to them. We trust man in the world, man's thoughts and views of us, more than what Heavenly Father says about us. You're fearfully and wonderfully made. You are the apple of my eye. From the foundations I formed you. You are purposed here.
Yes. So powerful. And he does have a purpose for each and every one of us. And
absolutely.
And when you go out, you see this, and I know because you've been out in the media in so many different areas. People think purpose is for the person that looks like they have purpose. Like it's easy to think the best-selling author, oh yeah, God has a purpose for them, or the top-selling musician, oh yeah, God has a purpose for them. But what about the everyday person that thinks, well, what's my purpose? What would you say to someone who's really struggling with that? Because a lot of people do.
You are born with a purpose. Wherever you are right now, wherever he has you, that if he's there, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, you are standing on holy ground.
Yes.
There are people that will come into your gas station and you will pump their gas, and they won't have their guards up because they're not expecting your kindness, that light of God to shine on them through you.
Yeah.
And they'll be open then
Mm-hmm.
to be touched by that light.
Mm-hmm.
The janitor at a school where a child has, maybe the father is a pastor, but the child, they're aware, they're smart, they see everything, they don't miss a thing. And maybe they've seen some hypocrisy or racism or judgment, and they're like, well, how can my father, blah, 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 blah. So they're blocked to the word or God or what they think God is. But that janitor at their high school who is on fire for Christ, who shows them love and kindness and a smile every day, that might be the only person that where they will feel safe enough to drop the guard and receive that light, that God love. So everywhere we are, he can use us. And every situation you've been through, rape, divorce, theft, no matter what it is, because you've been in there and he brings you through, you become a specialist.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who better to talk to somebody dealing with a drug problem than someone who he has pulled up out of it?
Amen.
Huh?
Amen.
Than someone who has worn the shoes you wear.
Yeah.
You are qualified. You witness what he's done for you. They know then he can do it for them too. And he wants to. You are here, no matter how you got here, you are here because he chose to bring you through. And so here you are with great purpose, and we need you everywhere. We need you at the high school. We need you at the shoe store. We need you at the fragrance counter. We need you everywhere you are. There's somebody for you to impact in an amazing way. And they won't darken the steps of a church. Perhaps they haven't heard at a church.
That's exactly
The
right.
hypocrisy, the judging, all of that other stuff that has nothing to do with God.
That's
But
right.
where you are, he can use you, and he wants to use you, and your purpose is great, sisters, brothers.
And, I have found too that, the word purpose and passion, compassion is of the word passion. And most of the time, your life's passion is going to be attached to your
Oh, yes, yes.
where you've been. I'm post-abortive, so I wrote in my book about that experience in my life, and I can't tell you how many women call me and they're like, I've never told anyone this.
Yes, Beth.
But it makes it a safe space for them to share unashamedly, and you just know when I get off the phone with them, they're going to go tell somebody else. And
Absolutely. They'll set somebody else free.
So your past does matter, because your past can help someone with what their present is right now.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. They say the past is present until it's resolved, and Jesus has a message for our past. He wants to use it. He wants to take whatever it was, and he wants to use it for his purposes. And
that's what I say. He'll take the script that the adversary wanted to take you down with. He'll flip that script, and it'll be one of those beautiful once upon a time stories when he set you free from that, whatever it was, and he's using all of that for his glory.
That's so good. Let's talk about the Village is Alive.
Yes.
So creative arts is a big deal because it's a language in and of itself.
Yes.
And, in schools and things like that, many times kids don't have a way. I mean, we don't even have a recess in a lot of schools. Kids don't have a way to have an outlet for their emotions, for their frustrations. So how are you using this as a way to minister to kids so that they have access to this whole world of art and visual art and things like that?
Well, I'll start right here, Beth. It saved my life. It is what he chose to save my life. And Lord, only God knows where I would have been in my spare time had he not put that art in me, and I loved it so much, you know. So it saved my life. So I'm paying it forward because I know what it's done for me when I would leave home and close that door, and I'm going to be someone else or be able to communicate or tell a story, feel myself bringing light and life to a character. I know what that has done for me. So I know that it's interesting. Our children are under such attack. There are wonderful things with all of the tech things, you know,
Right.
but the gift, one of the greatest gifts that God has given all of us is the gift of creativity.
Yes.
So if the adversary can just stop that
Yeah.
by keeping them like this, where they don't think, but they're not using what he's given them, then that's part of the plan. You know, just to stop whatever. If it's a book, if it's an invention, if it is whatever it is.
Yeah.
But it also because we're communicating verbally as well as physically, kids don't have to get frustrated and pick up a gun. They can actually communicate. I am angry.
Yeah. Exactly.
I am furious. Or they can write it.
Yeah.
So it is important that they can communicate and effectively, instead of just walking up, punching someone in the head or swallowing all of their emotions and then calming down with alcohol or drugs. But as long as we can get it up and get it out, be it verbally, writing or whatever, acting it out, it's a lifesaver.
And what happens to those kids when you open that door for them?
When you find that some of the kids go off, I ran a children's theater for many years, Angels Take Flight, and they would come in, some afraid of their own shadow. They would leave here bold, able to communicate, ask for what they want, knowing different ways to ask for what you want. Some of the kids are working in film right now. Others are, they left here being effective communicators.
Yeah.
So when they do public speaking, they're clear, they're confident, you know, and so also they learn how to have different opinions without going ballistic, you know, communicate. I was just starting to think about politics lately and how we are just not showing being good teachers.
Yeah.
Just Lord, what we've seen recently, but that's a different thing. But yeah, I want to stop the kids from doing that.
Right. Right. And if people can find their own identity, you know, I was speaking at at an event on Saturday, and I talked about times in my life when I would have given anything to be someone else just for a moment.
Oh,
And, you know, it's so true. This is important. And as an actress, you know this better than anyone else. This just makes us normal that there are times in our life when we want to slither out of our own skin and
yes,
everyone
girl.
else's just for a minute. So, you know, and I know you and Cami Arnett are friends, and, you know, he gets up, he says, we're all actors. And as Christians, sometimes we got to go out and we have to act right, like God told us to act. And yes, that's to be real, but there are times when, you know, we go to church, we might not necessarily want to, it'd be nice to sleep in, but there are times when we just choose how we go and carry ourselves
Absolutely.
in the world, regardless of how we're feeling, because the fact is God has his hand on us and he's leading us, right?
Yes, absolutely, Beth.
So helping people find their identity doesn't mean they don't deal with their emotions. It's teaching people to deal with.
How to act, how to respond, how not to respond, how to just let some of that stuff go because it really has nothing to do with you or, you know, yeah. Yeah, we have more power than we realize. God makes so much power available to us.
He does. We just are barely scratching the surface on what.
Girl, yes, yes,
So
yes.
true. So true. Well, you one of the things that I love to watch about when I see you post is about living simpler, living healthy,
Yes.
choosing a lifestyle that is good and clean and healthy. So, how did you come? I mean, you're a busy, successful, you have a production company, you speak a lot, you're in movies, you're always busy, busy doing things, but yet you've understood how to maintain a level of sanity. How do you teach people to be calm yet productive? That's a balance.
Uh, uh, Realizing that we're not machines and it's okay. It really is okay to say no.
Yes.
Thank you for the offer. Thank you for thinking about me. But
Yes.
no,
That,
we are the temple.
mhm.
We have to take time and treat the temple in a loving manner and just shut down. Turn off the computer, walk away, go somewhere, take a walk in the woods. I'm a nature lover, so as much as I can do that, I do that. It's nice to be out there walking, the air is fresh, and I'm looking at all of this incredible stuff that God has created. And I'll tell you, you see it, but as you yield to just really take it in, you go the same path sometimes that I go, some places I've hiked before, but sometimes I'll see something I've never seen before. And I've walked past it so many times. And I'm like, oh my God, you're blowing my tiny little mind. You are far more amazing than I could ever fathom, of course. But oh my God, just thank you for allowing me to see this,
Yeah.
see this, to feel this.
Yes.
So yes, cutting out the busy, being responsible for what he's given us.
Yeah.
We have to eat better. We
Yeah.
have to make choices. I like chocolate cake too.
Yes.
Matter of fact, no, let me back that up, Beth. I love chocolate cake.
I love French fries. I love
Oh,
French.
girl, yes, 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 yes. So those things, every once in a while, but you have to work out everything in balance.
Yeah.
And I I'm 65 and I haven't done some of the traveling I wanted to do. But so I've been researching for a long time, finding different ways that I can, um, for a reasonable cost, travel
Mm-hmm.
to Italy. So next month I'm going to Italy for 16 days. And
Ooh.
I'm just going to take in the art. Just I want to go to just be with the regular people. I chose not to do a lot of the tours because I just want to take in the people and the art, and I want to eat with the man down the block,
Mm-hmm.
Francisco or his wife,
French
you know.
cafes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So just taking the time away from the busy allowed me to research and put together something that I could afford.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to turn away some jobs, some opportunities to just do this for myself and say, no, thank you for the invitation, but I can't. And so I'm going to feed the soul,
Yeah.
So exercising, taking time away to just do and be, even if there's nothing on the schedule.
Right.
You have to take care of yourself. So living simply, naturally, and wellness is a result of
Yes.
just taking good care of yourself spiritually, physically, emotionally, all those ways. And wellness is a result.
It's so true. And then you feel so much better.
Oh,
I
yeah.
like to say we're human beings, we're not human doings, but the being prompts the doing.
Yes.
The doing doesn't prompt the being. We've got it all backwards.
Yes, you're absolutely right. And I'm telling you, I'm sleeping better. You know, for all the women out there, the hormones, they go crazy. Your sleep changes your pattern. I'm telling you, cutting out all of that other stuff. And if by chance there are some negative situations, negative people, lovingly step away from them too. You know, the drama, all the unnecessary stuff. And it's good. And girl, I am sleeping so well.
Well, and I like what you said, you know, no, I tell people, I'm a coach, so I tell people, no is a complete sentence. And no is even a better complete sentence. So you don't have to respond to every text. You don't have to answer every phone call. You don't have you can choose to turn the volume up and the volume down on the people in your life.
Oh, Beth, I love it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, just because the phone makes a noise doesn't mean we have to stop everything to respond to that right then.
Yes. That is so good.
Right. Well, one of the best things about you is that you're available to go around and speak. You're a master storyteller. You're available for speaking at events. So what is it that people need to know about how they can reach you and be in touch with you, perhaps bring you into an event? How can people keep in touch with you to find out where you're going to be and things like that?
People can follow me. Sometimes I post some of the stuff on Facebook at Karen Abercrombie, you know, under that name, or my website, KarenAbercrombie.com.
Yes.
They can check from time to time to see where I am and what I'm doing. And it's interesting right now because God has He's graced me with the opportunity to produce some things. I am cutting back on the speaking. So, but I still do it from time to time. But, you know, again, that living simply, natural, and well, you can't do it all. You can't be everywhere.
That's right.
You got to take care of all of you.
That's right.
Yes.
And it's good to know you're on both sides of the camera because you've got so many talents that you can use that for God's glory. And hey, you know what I say? Be edgy because the world, like you said, the world needs some edgy, some real. And I love that about you, what you do, because we got to be real about what's going on and we got to help other people know that it's okay to not be okay as long as you don't stay there, right?
Absolutely. And I remember growing up a young girl, from my point, look out on other people's families and just like, you know, wish I was there. Wish I was in this family, but everything that I went through, everything God has allowed me to use to minister.
Yeah.
Everything. So women or people in the audience, just know that too. Nothing goes wasted with him.
That's right. That's right. Especially surrender to him. Give it to him and say, Lord, I don't know what you can possibly do with this.
Yes.
But it's yours to use.
Yes.
And
yes.
Sometimes it's what's in our hand and what we have now. We're always hoping for something that we don't have.
We can use you right now, now, any age and any stage. It doesn't have to be that you've gotten through this thing.
Right. Yes. That's right. It's not what you go through, it's what you go to. And God calling us to him and his presence in every day and the power of his presence and the authority of his presence and his love. So, well, it's been so good to talk to you. We could talk all day because I know we both have things to do, but thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for what you're doing, making films, being in films. And when I look at your post and you make me want to calm down, I'm like, yes. High energy people. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to be calm.
You're beautiful. Thank you.
Fun. But listen, thank you so much for being here. We'll come back around and do this again. But everyone here at Abercrombie, thank you so much for joining us today. God bless you and all you're doing.
Thank you.
And, we'll keep up with you online. And thank you for being with us.
And you too. This is to you. Big hug, Beth.
Yes, back at you. All right.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.